Okay, it is 9:39 a.m. and we officially broke this trend line that I drew actually from here this week to this first red candle. So this isn't like hindsight 2020. Oh, a trend line fits perfectly here. No, I actually drew from here to here and it followed it nicely. And at this point, if I still had any shares, I would be getting out right here in the 82s. And I traded this again. This was the same setup that I did yesterday, although I think I'm a little more disappointed because I had that experience with yesterday and today I could have held better. Not longer, but better. I did buy at 9:30 right at the market open, 15,000 shares at 74. So 9:30 I was in at 74. The price action was looking good. I think there was a lot of people at the bid, and overall it was already above the previous day high, which was 73. So I was in at 74, and I did have that idea of risking the day low, which would have been this 70 level. Just rounding it up to here, and then worst case scenario, if I had to get out because it breaks this 7 level and we have like a morning panic instead of a morning spike, I'd be out at this sub penny 60 level, and then I would have been a $20 loss according to a $20 risk level that I'm trading at the moment. So again, I was in it right here, and I was thinking about using VWAP if it doesn't just immediately start to panic as a level to risk. And it did briefly get below it, but I decided to hold through it because it wasn't looking that horrible. But I was taking into consideration that, all right, we had this dip under VWAP. It got to the 72 level. If we have another drop and it gets below 72, then I feel like that could be a change in momentum and I would be getting out of the setup. And that did not happen. As you can see, it continued the uptrend. And I got out of my entire position at 78. I think it was like between 77 and 78. It was like 77.5, and that was at 9:34. So right here at 9:34, I did get out. I'm going to say right around here at 9:34 because it was between 77 and 78. So it was probably around right here when I got out. And I could have sold half of my position and I could have stuck to that idea of risking VWAP, or maybe even if it were to get below this wick right here, I think I probably would have done VWAP, but I could have sold again half of my position here, and then maybe the other half I'd be out right here at 82. And even though it's still trying to hang itself together and it might try to uptrend even more, I'll be very happy with that trade, and that would have allowed me to be much more profitable. So I'm glad I did take it. I'm happy with my entry. I'm happy with the way I held it in the beginning, but I just wish I sold in two pieces instead of one piece. And again, that's something I've been trying to do to help me be more profitable. I want to see if this might try to hold right here, but it's just kind of sketchy because it's not like an actual dip or anything. It's just trading at this level right here. It's like consolidating, but maybe it can try to hold it right here and continue to make a move. Or maybe ideally it can downtrend and then make like a higher low off of this level. And then that could be another dip buy opportunity. I did see GTOR downtrend. I never traded it because I was too busy with TXTM, but this was a very similar setup to yesterday actually. And that it had, I guess, a morning panic, but although this one's not really as clean as one. And I mean, it did make a move from the 43s to the 46s, but this looks kind of hard to trade. I don't mind not being a part of this one. It looks like BMIX is downtrending, having a first red day. This is a bit ugly, the price action, but if it does something clean, I might consider that for, a morning panic bounce play setup. Nothing with SYXX. GESI continues the uptrend after it broke $5, which is pretty impressive. And it looks like it's still around this level. I'll make an update as to what this does, and I'll probably be looking at BMIX at this point. It is 10 o'clock a.m. and TXTM is trading around a penny, which is pretty impressive. Uh, Again, my little trade was way back here at 74, and then I had to sell at this level right here, that's 77, almost 78 level. And again, I would have been very happy if maybe I sold 10,000 shares here out of my 15,000, and then the last 5,000 I could have sold in the 82 level when it first broke the trend line. And this has done something where I've seen it a few times where you can draw a trend line and then it fails a trend line and then it tries to desperately get back to the trend line level, and then it kind of loses momentum, and then it downtrends. But I still had an interest. I actually thought about it, and I did try. I accidentally had the wrong ticker, and thankfully I didn't get filled. It was trading above this, but I actually thought, why not just YOLO at 9.55, just trade 1,000 shares, which is like a $10 position, right at the first breakout I had here above a penny, and it didn't get filled because it was the wrong ticker, but it also didn't really work out. And I just thought, even though it's broken this trend line for a very long time and now it's kind of getting more distance from it, I mean, I'm sure like everyone has seen the stocks just go very hysterical and just absolutely uptrend like crazy. And I want to continue watching this and learning from the price action. I did have an interest, I believe, in BMIX because it did have a panic, but it just had like a really lame low volume uptrend, so there wasn't really a point where I could have realistically traded that, even with the amount of size that I'm trading right now. So yeah, I'll just continue to watch TXTM, but this is a pretty impressive move. It is 10:17 a.m. and TXTM has struggled to get back to a penny, and it's also further from this trend line than ever. In fact, you can even draw, I guess maybe it's not really possible, but you can even draw another one right here, and it even broke this trend line too. I know it's the most evil thing ever, but if I had the ability, I would have considered it shorting it once I saw that it was doing this topping action. Maybe here after it broke this trend line that you could have drawn from this to this price action right here. And yeah, it's continuously downtrending. Now, it might make a move towards VWAP, and it might be a dip buy opportunity. Maybe it'll dip below it or something like that. But I'm not gonna like it that much because I just don't like how this is all now resistance, and that looks very hard to break past. But maybe you'll try to do something. I also have a lot of work that I need to catch up with, so I'll probably stop looking at the markets, or at least not look at it as much as I am right here. And yeah, that's really about it. I look forward to seeing what TXTM does over a longer period of time. SYXX is finally trying to reverse. I guess the level of the break now will be 28 if it could get there. Kind of iffy. Definitely iffy. And GESI did offer a dip under VWAP, technically the second green day after the breakout past 5, but I just don't like this stock where it is. It just seems a bit sketchy, but it's definitely offering moves, and I don't know how easy or hard this would have been to trade, but you can definitely see a setup there. I'll make an update later. Okay, it is 11:35 and I am here to call it off. Overall, I am up $5.25 trading TXTM, and I could have been more profitable. I could have sold half of my position, or maybe a larger portion, perhaps a smaller portion, and then the other piece when it broke the trend line way back here in the 80s. It did make a continuation. It had an aggressive consolidation and went higher, which was pretty cool. And afterwards, I had to catch up with a lot of work, but this was a pretty nice move where I guess the volume perhaps was just kicking in and it broke past 1 penny. And after some consolidation here, it did make a move to this 11 level. And maybe I could have traded something like that if I was there, but I wasn't. And that was really about it. Just that one trade, and ideally, at least the idea is working. But I need to start applying that so I can be more profitable trading and continue forward. GESI is just so sketchy, but this one's pretty impressive having the second day. And I guess I will consider it for a morning panic bounce play, but I'm going to be pretty cautious with it. It doesn't trade the best volume. That's all I have for today.